Planet Vero Studio is powered by the Nolan Group of eXp Realty. MyNextHomeFinder.com.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Well, welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. My company by the same name is one of the show's sponsors, and we help business owners to promote their products and services in the marketplace through websites, social media, lead generation campaigns, video production, advertising, PR. All the details are on the website, www.tcconnector.com, or call 772-925-4557. Treasure Coast Connector, the show, puts a spotlight on local business owners. Everyone has an interesting story of why they do what they do, and when we learn about them and do business locally, it strengthens our local economy. Well, many of us lead very fast-paced lives. We have a lot of people that depend on us. It's very easy to forget to look out for ourselves, take care of ourselves. Joining me in the studio today is a local businesswoman who also has a lot on her plate. Rachael Moshman offers emotional wellness support groups and workshops and classes and webinars. She also is an author and has a lot of journals that she's going to talk about, as well as a content creator. There are other things she does as well, but she's here to talk about these workshops and the journals and to give us some tips and advice for, just creating time for ourselves and bringing joy back into our lives. So welcome to the show, Rachael.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So I just have to say that, throughout this past year, I think it is, that when we first started meeting each other at CoLab and other places, that your positivity and your laughter, okay, I have just found to be very infectious.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And so I'm really glad that you're here to talk about the things that you do, because in everybody's life, a little rain must fall. And yes, sometimes it's dark and stormy. Nobody has like the perfect life, but you have really found a way to be happy despite some of the issues that you've dealt with in your own life. And being an author, for other magazines, and we'll get into that in a moment, I'm fascinated that you're able to put on that wonderfully happy face and teach others how to figure stuff out and be happy too. So, but before we talk about your business and all that you offer, I want people to understand your educational background, because it's very impressive. And why you got into this also.
Sure. Well, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in education with an emphasis in early childhood education. Mm-hmm. I am an early childhood mental health consultant. So I teach preschool teachers and workers at preschools, directors, and parents best practices for social emotional development, as well as their own regulation, because dealing with children, whether you're a parent or a teacher or a crossing guard or whoever, it's tough.
Are you saying it could be a little stressful?
It can
Yes,
be a little stressful.
Yeah, because you're forming and molding little humans.
Right.
To be big,
I call them brain architects.
Oh, I love that.
Because they're helping with brain development. So we work a lot on their emotional regulation.
Yeah.
Because if you are not regulated, you cannot help anyone, child or adult, be regulated. I also adopted from foster care. So my girls are grown now, the young adults, they're 21. So professionally and personally, I am very well versed and educated on trauma. So that's kind of been my life for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And as my girls grew up and went off to college, I realized when I was alone in my little, empty nest, which actually happened during COVID for the most part.
Right. Yeah. So that's a double whammy.
It's a double whammy.
To be home
the
and
first
an
year
empty
away
nester.
was 2020 when COVID came.
Yeah.
So I realized when I was on my own, after putting all of this effort into helping them, that I have a lot of childhood trauma myself that I've never dealt with. And then, like many people, 2020 was very challenging. 2021 was a year of just really rebuilding and reflecting and dealing with my own trauma and a lifetime of chronic stress, lots of therapy, and just really diving into the healing process for myself. Through that, I created a line of guided emotional support journals. This was one of the first ones, stuff to tell my therapist.
Yeah, you can point it right. Oh, you did. Perfect. That's perfect. Right at the camera.
These were all created because I needed the tools. I needed a place to remember what to talk to my therapist about, or how to be present in the moment. So I have about 25 different guided emotional support journals that have prompts inside about affirmations, loving yourself, setting boundaries, all kinds of things. And through that, once I started selling them at vendor events here locally, people kept telling me they wanted more. They wanted more tools, more community, more support. And so through that, the Rambling Rage Emotional Wellness community has developed that will be doing events locally as well as online.
Thousands of people online that are followers on all of your platforms.
Yes, I've been blogging at ramblingrage.com for years now. In 2018, I got divorced. One of my girls had a near successful suicide attempt. I kind of dove into writing. It's always been how I process life. But as a way to kind of make sense of things, and also that I know that other people are going through similar things, and to let people know, like, you're not alone. And as I'm on this journey in my 40s to discover myself for the first time. I was married from 20 to 40. So to kind of figure out who I am, I wanted to show people that it's never too early to love and appreciate yourself, and it's never too late.
Very good.
Yes.
I want to interrupt because ramblingrach.com, RAMBLINGRACH.com. We have it for the people that are watching, but for the iHeart people and the podcasters, I wanted them to, just in case, But the thing is that when I first met you and I had your card, I'm like, oh, I got to check this out. I was snorting laughing with a lot of your articles because you know what? You were very real about things, but you put a humorous spin on a lot of things.
Yes.
And so it was like, wow. And it's amazing. That's why I'm saying it's really nice that you're able to share, but find the humor also in things.
Right.
So,
you kind of have to, because life is hard and it will knock you down if you don't. So I say that authenticity is and vulnerability are my superpowers because, a lot of people present these picture perfect lives on social media. And I don't even know how to go about doing that, even if I wanted to.
Well, wait a minute.
All of my messiness is out there.
Yeah, but you know what? It's funny, though, but it's done in a very good way. I actually think that you're amazing at social media. So I'm glad you mentioned that because, some of it is, cutesy and funny and real. But you also are put together as well, But I understand what you're saying, that there are people that photograph in certain angles over others, and they only share the best of the best.
Yes, and I put it all out there.
And so this is the thing: emotional health, self-care, finding joy, trauma recovery, stress and anxiety, body positivity. There's so much on that you write about on Rambling Rage. And I also want people to understand, and I have to look at my notes for this, that you also are a writer, and you have written, your stuff has been on Huffington Post, Scary Mommy, What to Expect, and then there's other corporate partners like Walgreens and others that you've worked with. So there's like major corporations that you've dealt with that want and need your content. So
yes, I've been freelance writing since 2011, and I have really found that people want this vulnerability. They want to hear about the hard stuff going on because they have hard stuff going on, and we don't talk about that often enough.
And they need ideas.
They need ideas, and they need support and community that they're not alone. So that's kind of the idea behind this emotional support community that I'm building online if you don't live here locally, and in person here in Vero Beach if you're local. We'll be having meetings at CoLab.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Christina Klingler's place. It's so beautiful. And so, so that's something. You know what I think? I'm looking at the time. We're going to take a quick break because I want to dive into more of what you're going to be doing for the community. So stay tuned because Rachael Moshman and I have a lot more to talk about. We'll be right back.
At Compass Pest Control, we focus on killing pests where they live and breed by terminating them outside your home or office before they can get in. Hi, I'm Chris Hudman, owner of Compass Pest Control. We prevent roaches, ants, and other pests from getting inside with a proactive approach. We don't stop there. We also offer lawn and plant health programs. And we'll never sell you something you don't need. At Compass Pest Control, our prices are competitive. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Get a free estimate. Visit compasspests.com.
Dr. Stephen Tate offers the safest and most efficient technique for customized cataract surgery. Patients are personally counseled on the best approach for their needs and lifestyle. From multifocal lenses that allow for distance and reading vision to toric lenses that correct astigmatism, let New Vision Eye Center guide you safely through your options. For world-class eye care on the Treasure Coast, visit newvisioneyecenter.com.
Waves Auto Spa, known as Vero's fastest and finest. A car wash known for their quality equipment and attention to detail by a friendly and courteous staff. Waves offers soft cloth technology, and a top-notch detail center will help preserve the value of your car. Waves now offers windshield chip repair, and in most cases, it doesn't cost you a dime. Spend less time and get a better quality experience for you and your car at Waves Auto Spa, US 1 Vero Beach, across from Kmart Plaza. Open 7 days a week.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I've been chatting with Rachael Moshman and her website, ramblingrach.com. It's an amazing website. So we were talking about your why in the first half and everything, but I would like to talk about how you're going to help people in person and online, because I was intrigued by your subscription for your journaling, because I have not one, but I have 2 of your journals, right? And, you know, I think of it as a singular thing, but it doesn't have to be. So I can do a journal and be in a subscription, and I can be around other people to share. So please tell me about that.
Well, I am starting events, like I said, in Vero Beach. The first one is going to be October 15th. So if you're local, I hope you'll come. It's going to be at CoLab. October 15th, it's Saturday from 10 to noon. It's called Muffins, Moo-Moos, and Magic. So I invite everyone to bring your favorite muffins, wear a moo-moo, and we're going to talk about your own personal magic, because we all have our own unique qualities that make us special and wonderful. So one of the ways we're going to do that is through my affirmation journals, and everyone who attends will get one to take home. And I know that before I started creating these journals, I had just piles of journals and notebooks that I thought were cute and that I had full intention of using when I bought them. And I'd write in them maybe once and then forget, and then I would start another one. So I had piles of journals with just like a sentence or two in them. So I started creating these based on what I needed. So one of the things I want to do is teach people how to use them and how to get in the habit of them so that they're not just sitting on someone's shelf. So each journal is going to have its own webinar and online content, and also in-person classes if you're local and would like to attend. Like the first event, the Muffins, Moo-Moos, and Magic, will be about affirmations. So that's what's going on with the Rambling Rach Emotional Wellness community.
Well, very good. Okay, so now in the intro, I mentioned that we get caught up in our day-to-day. And, there's lots of times my husband will ask me to help with certain things. I don't have a lot of people depending on me, but, it is my husband and I. And then there are times where, I will set boundaries, and he's good with that, but he knows that I'm going to always come back when I'm done with what I'm doing to say, hey, I'm ready to help you now, and vice versa. So we give each other the time and space that we need, and not everybody gets that.
Not everybody has a support community.
So what's your advice when someone feels that they're pulled in every different direction? Like, what do you say to them?
Well, it's tricky because there's a lot of talk about self-care, that you need self-care, you need self-care, you need self-care. But when you are overwhelmed and busy and you're taking care of children or sick parents, or you have a job where people are pulling at you. Some jobs, if you're a nurse or a teacher, or so many careers that are just, they take so much out of you, and then you come home and everyone needs you. It's hard to go get a pedicure or take a 2-hour bubble bath or whatever the typical self-care is. But self-care comes in many forms. So doing something like therapy or journaling, or coming to one of these events, those are all pieces of self-care also. Self-care can be scheduling just a little bit of time for yourself that's going to help you develop the skills and tools that hopefully eventually you'll be able to make time for the bubble baths and the pedicures and the massages. But just diving into traditional self-care is not a solution for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, that is true. And then somebody could say, mommy has to go to a meeting. So they can go from work, they can grab a bite with one of their friends, and then go to your event, because that is a way for them to carve out time. And I'm sure when they get home, they'll realize, or their family will realize, hey, we were able to figure this stuff out.
Yes.
Just get so
and there's
used
so
to.
much guilt with self-care, with traditional self-care, with stepping away to get a massage or a pedicure, lunch with your friends. And there shouldn't be. There absolutely should not be. But I think when you go to therapy, or you go to a support group, or one of these emotional support community events, it feels more like medical. So there's less guilt involved. And so my goal is to help people to let go of that guilt altogether. So it's a progress. Like, we can't just go from totally overwhelmed to taking a full weekend to ourselves and pampering with a hotel stay.
There's stages.
There's stages. And so we have to, baby step and meet people where they are. And something that going through this kind of healing journey myself that I found is so many of the self-help books and the self-help gurus, it kind of felt shameful to me. Like, if you're not doing these things, if you're not at this place, then you're not taking care of yourself. You're not good enough. You're not doing the work. And that's just not true. So I want people to feel good about themselves now. While they're, working to improve whatever skills or tools that they want to improve in their life. But to know that they're fine and that they are okay and they are good enough right now.
Well, that is wonderful. And a very quick tip, and I heard this while listening to another radio show, that when somebody wants an afternoon nap on a Saturday, what they do is they tell their children, okay, wake me up in an hour, and then we're going to clean the house together. those children are going to let you sleep for 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Now that my girls are 21, they're starting to realize all of the ways that I trick them. Like that could be a whole class on its own, all of the ways I trick children. So.
Very good. So that's another way for you. All these articles. Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm helping you. You're welcome. But I'm looking at the time and we're doing okay. But your laughter, as I said, it is infectious, right? And so, we understand what yoga is. And I think a lot of people understand that yoga doesn't always have to be bendy, twisty, pretzel, scary stuff, right? Mm-hmm. It's a really good exercise form, but you have done something a little bit different with yoga. What are you doing?
I am a certified laughter yoga leader. Laughter yoga was created in India by an Indian medical doctor and his yoga instructor wife in 1995. And it combines laughter with yoga breath work. Mm-hmm. It started with just them and 5 people in a park, and it's now tens of thousands of people doing it in 110 countries and growing. So it's really quite the movement. What laughter yoga is it's laughter as exercise. Mm-hmm. It's not telling jokes and trying to make people laugh. The participants choose to laugh. Okay. So it's self-simulated laughter. Mm-hmm. And the research shows that the body and the brain doesn't know the difference between genuine laughter when you're happy and when you are making yourself laugh. The benefits are the same. So laughter yoga is shown to have the same benefits as an aerobic workout. Wow. It's 10 to 20 minutes of just straight laughter. Okay. And actually you can feel it in your abs when you're first starting, like the next day, like you've had an ab workout, and because we're not used to that. Yeah, we're not used to all of the deep breathing and all of the laughter. It's really belly laughter. So it is, I found impossible to do it and not feel better afterwards. Mm-hmm. I actually was going, like I mentioned, in 2021, going through a really dark time. Mm-hmm. And I went on a little weekend trip with my sister to Venice, Florida. Okay. And we're just walking through a park and a woman said, "Come laugh with us. We're doing laughter yoga. It's free." And so I am usually up for just about anything, especially as a writer. I'll do just about anything for the story. So I was like, okay. So we went and did it. And she had us take selfies of ourselves before the class and then again after it. And the difference in my selfies is like night and day. It didn't solve my problems I was going through. It was still a lot of work. Okay. But
it didn't solve world peace.
It didn't solve world hunger or anything like that. Okay. But I felt tremendously better for the rest of the day. And so I left there and said, I need to find out more about this. And so now I'm certified and I am going to start offering it next month. So stay tuned on ramblingrach.com and also on all of my social media channels for the times. I'll be doing some free laughter yoga classes.
Oh, very good. So what I want you to do is say your website, because your website also has all your social media so that they can find.
Yeah, it's ramblingrach.com. And then also on Facebook and Instagram, you can find me at the same, Rambling Rach. And I'll be posting all of the info about upcoming events. Yeah. And I hope to see you. I hope you can come to Muffins, Moo-Moos, and Magic on October 15th. And to Laughter Yoga, we'll be doing it also at CoLab starting in October when it hopefully cools off a little bit more so we can do it outside.
Yeah, very good. And CoLab is, it's, the URL again.
It's verocolab.com.
Yeah, verocolab.com.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's a gorgeous place. So I wanted to say thank you so very much for being here, because
thank you for having me.
Yeah, I think that, there's still articles out there about how people are just stressed out. And I think that you have this really great way of acknowledging a problem and helping people figure stuff out, but also finding the humor in things. That's also very healing.
And the research shows that we heal through connection and community. We don't heal as quickly or as well on our own. Yeah. So I'm excited to bring that.
And with that, we are at our end. So my name is Ellen Contreras, Treasure Coast Connector. I hope everyone has a safe, productive, wonderful week.